What's up, y'all? So, welcome to another episode of Better on This Side. It's been a while. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. So happy to be back. It's been a long time coming, but it feels so good and it feels like now is the right time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
It's like clocking in first day back at work. I'm joking.
yeah. No, very happy to be here. And today we want to talk about sobriety.
Yes, I think this year I'm celebrating 5 years,
hmm
and you celebrating four
I just
years.
had, I just did 4 years on my birthday, 17th of December
Nice.
was
Look
four
at
years
us,
for
eh?
me.
Look at us, eh? Yo, I'm so proud of us.
Yeah, me too.
How have you, like, how was your December 4 years sober?
My December 4 years sober was,
Versus like obviously you come from like a very active like teenage life and
mm,
like you know how December is with both our families. We just come from like backgrounds where December is like that time. So the most
mm,
recent is where your sobriety is tested is December. So how
yeah.
was your fourth year of sobriety in December?
My fourth year of sobriety was amazing and very introspective.
Mm,
Like, I felt like I was seeing things way clearer, and it almost feels like every year I see more and more and learn more and more about myself.
mm,
Um, and I think also at this point, it doesn't feel foreign. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, I don't drink. Like, it just feels normal. I'm like, oh, that's normal to me.
yeah.
It's just crazy that it has been 4 years. Time really does fly. But I would say, all in all, very clear. There was a lot of clarity, and I had a lot of things that just came to me
Mm,
and made sense to me, which I obviously shared like every day when there would be something new. I'm like, oh my gosh, this and this and that. And
yeah.
I just feel grateful for life.
I think what's nice is also just the people that we hang with. For example, my family this December. They're more lenient. Like it's not even like it's an unspoken thing now.
Yeah.
Like before, it was always like my brother would probably hand me a drink and then they would probably be like, "Are you
Oh
guys
my dad.
sure?"
Oh my
Yeah,
dad.
you
Yeah.
know. And now this time around, it's like the people we surrounded by now. It's almost like they don't we don't talk about it. It's not like this announcement they make for everybody when we arrive at the place. You know how they always used to be like, yeah, so by the way, Shelton and B doesn't drink. Like now we have
Mm,
to be on the spot, then we have to explain why we don't drink. So I think that's also another thing is that the people we have in our lives have kind of become accustomed to it, and that makes it so much easier to kind
mm,
of enjoy like sobriety with people that do drink. It's
mm.
different when you go into a space where people actually don't know you don't drink or they don't understand the concept of not drinking, those
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
So I think that's also nice. It's that we've been able to, I guess, also like create environments for ourselves where it doesn't feel like we feel out of place, because I think that's important, like,
Absolutely. I
you
think
know
it's also like a lot of people, or a few people who've asked me about not drinking and all of that. They don't realize that all our friends and our family members still drink.
mm,
So, and I think even before like starting this journey of not drinking alcohol, I just couldn't imagine not drinking because you kind of associated with like quote unquote boring people. But the truth is, but the truth is we aren't those types of people. Like, everyone around us still drinks, and yeah, I just feel like if people hung out with us they would actually realize
mm,
how like chilled and
mm,
fun and cool we actually are. Yeah, that was just a random side note, but I
yeah,
think for you, because now you're going into your fifth year, so you started at the beginning of lockdown,
yes,
March
that was like the
2020.
biggest cheat code ever.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for lockdown for that reason. Like that's one of the reasons. One of the positives that came out of lockdown for me is definitely the drinking. I tried. Listen, high and low. You know me. I was looking every corner of the earth for like alcohol, but there was so much resistance. No one had, and it was also like super expensive when you did experience it or encounter it or come across it. So at some point, I was just like, nah, it's not worth it.
Mm.
So yeah, 5 years. Lockdown was 5 years ago. We spoke about it the other day. That's
That in
crazy. Yeah,
itself, I'm like, how is that 5 years ago?
yeah, it's my fifth year, What I will say about my fifth year of sobriety is that you kind of forget that alcohol is a thing. The only time it really hits me is when we're watching a TV show and there's like a glass of wine, or like a beer, and we're like, "Ooh, that looks good right now." You know, just
Mm.
because you're thirsty, not more so because you want to be drunk or you want to turn up. But I think it's just that you do remember that, like, glass of wine. Like you
Mm.
always used to say, yours was more like the aesthetic,
Yes,
also
like
like how a
I
drink
actually
looks.
enjoyed how a drink looks, and
Yeah,
like yes, it would have alcohol in it, but I think it's also the same as seeing like a really juicy burger, like,
yeah,
or seeing like, I don't know, your favorite chips or whatever. It's like it's more from that, right?
yeah. We've been having a lot of that now because of our
Yeah,
diet.
that's like a whole other story. So we've like
Yeah,
completely cut out processed food, and that's a whole other journey. But yes,
yeah,
back
no.
to the no drinking,
Yeah,
5 years.
so that's one thing I can say is that I kind of forget about it. Like I don't attribute a lot to me being sober, which is crazy because I should. Because today when I made that post of mine, I kind of realized very quickly that, oh my goodness, like a lot of the changes that I've gone through and a lot of strides that I've made was actually because I'm like alcohol free. Yeah, so what I've learned is that my nervous system is kind of in check. It's obviously never like static, or like in one way. It's always like going up and
Mm.
down, but it's more balanced, very well balanced. And so that's what I've learned also. So I'm able to pick up cues better, use my intuition better, be able to regulate my mood easier, etc., etc. So that's really good. And then one other thing about sobriety is that um, I can definitely say it's changed a lot of my, like we spoke about environment just now. It's definitely changed my surroundings and the people I connect with, the people I relate to, my social anxiety. I realized that I'm actually like a very shy person. I'm actually not
Mm.
like as loud as I thought. I
I
think the
love I
alcohol
love
made me
that you
loud.
say the alcohol made you loud. I love that you
Yes.
say that because I feel like most people think they wouldn't like if someone didn't know you, they wouldn't know that about you.
Yes, I'm extremely shy. I'm not. I'm not easy to just connect and talk to people because I'm awkward. I don't know. I don't know how to start a conversation very well. But once I'm comfortable, I'm definitely able to tap in properly. So it's taught me a lot about um, myself in relation to, I guess, the world. Is that I'm actually like a big introvert, and I prefer quieter settings. I prefer real conversations. I prefer not loudness. Um, yeah,
I love
yeah.
that
The
so
fifth
much.
year in is definitely like it's definitely like an evolution, and I learn. What the beautiful thing about the fifth year also is that I think only after a while do you start really understanding and appreciating the benefits of being sober. The first few years is like health reasons, everyone is patting you on the back, like, you're not babalas,
Yes.
you fit, you
Yes.
feel good, you're able to save money, stay in shape, but there's like an internal realization that comes about when you finally realize that it's almost like a way of life, and it's not, how can I put it, it's not this thing that you like wear as a badge of honor. You don't put so much weight on it. It's kind of just like a way of life, and then once it becomes a way of life, it's almost like breathing is a way of life. Meditation is a way of
Yes.
life. Eating health is a way of life,
Yes,
and you start
absolutely.
only realizing the benefits once it's like a normal part of your life,
Yes.
and you kind of set into that. But before that, yeah, there's a lot of adjustments and up and downs, and it's a roller coaster. um, the journey of sobriety is a roller coaster, and it never ever ends, because every year, like I said, my fifth year, I'm learning new things. I only realized on the fifth year that, oh my goodness, this, and I'm actually enjoying it. And I just remembered today that, like, I'm 5 years, like, this is my fifth year sober. So it's like a never ending journey. I think you go away
Mm.
from being sorry, I'm almost done. You go away from like the fear of like, oh, I'm gonna drink. You go away from that, like, I need to stay sober, and you start moving towards the things you look forward to being sober, away from like the fear of not being sober to like
Yes.
the excitement of being sober, you know. But it
Mm,
takes time. It
mm,
doesn't just happen in that immediate, because that honeymoon phase is very fickle,
mm,
and it's one drink can like send you back, you know.
mm.
So I know that for a fact. Like whether it's like weed or all the things that I used to partake in, it's like one drink or one partaking one partaking of that thing can really send you back. So that honeymoon phase is where you actually have to be the strongest and be more mindful. But I think once you start setting into like the 5th year, 4th year, you do start feeling like, oh, it's part of me now. You don't feel like you have to explain yourself or announce, oh, I don't drink. It feels
Yes,
awkward being
exactly.
like, oh, we don't drink, you
Exactly.
know.
Because we also don't even think about it so much.
Yeah.
So it will come up maybe like, oh, you guys, aren't you, what are you guys drinking? But it's not, it's just, I mean, even like we can think about when we went to Morag's birthday party. So, you know, it's like when we got there, we were like, oh, actually, we don't drink because everyone was drinking and but we don't drink. But it was so chilled and normal, and I think we just ordered like a Coke or I don't know. It was just very relaxed, you know.
Yeah. And we managed in that setting because we're so used to it now,
Yeah.
you know. Whereas in the past, it wasn't like that easy,
Mm.
you know. How has sobriety helped you learn to heal your body?
Oh, I love this question, and I feel like this would be like a 30-minute answer, and I'm joking. But I think when, first of all, when I stopped drinking, I didn't realize what was to come, like what laid ahead, what lied ahead.
Yeah, what light ahead, yeah.
I didn't realize what lied ahead, and wow, there's a lot to say about that. But I think I can probably just use my most recent example, which is realizing something specific that was causing me issues in terms of health and my gut. And so, in me not having, not because the thing we also forget is you don't. It's not like you drink and then like that still sits in your system. You don't just drink over the weekend and then it's completely gone out of your system. Like it's still within you, and drinking actually affects your brain. Like it affects your neural pathways. It destroys them. It makes them shorter. It's terrible. But again, on the other side, that's the beauty of the brain, like the power of the brain. We have our neural pathways have the ability to grow, and so how our brain is now, we can expand it, and then we can also go the other way, and that's what alcohol actually does to the brain. But that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so I think having just a clear conscious and vessel has helped me to understand the cues in terms of what's going on in my body. And most recently, I came to this understanding that I have this thing that I have. I'm not naming it because it's a personal journey. And I'm obviously still working through it and healing it. I mean, it's only been a week, but I will say that the healing has been miraculous, and it's like I'm a completely different person. It basically happened overnight. But I think if I was still drinking and I still had all of this like fog in my subconscious, I don't think I would have been able to get to that answer as quickly as I did, because it also came to me in a dream and it was in my subconscious. And so it's also helped me to strengthen my spiritual gifts. And yeah, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, anyone watching this, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, there's things that I can see, hear, sense, and not drinking allows those things to be stronger. And so the specific word came at me of what it is, and it was exactly that. And I've been able to actually heal this and know that, oh, this is actually what it was. And I feel like probably if I was drinking, I wouldn't be as connected to my body, because before, when we were still drinking, I didn't know about the different phases of my cycle. I didn't know about feminine energy and masculine energy. I didn't know about any of that. I was just like existing. And so I would definitely say, in terms of healing my body, it's helped to empower me, and it's also helped me to know that I don't have to immediately run to a doctor or run outside to try and get help from outside, because everything is actually within. So it's such a beautiful thing, and I really do feel like if more people actually just gave it a chance, like not drinking for at least 3 months, just see what happens, like to your brain. Everything, just the fog just disappears. Like everything is, we're sitting in a park right now, and it's just, it's so beautiful. Like the sky is so blue, the trees are so green, you see people for who and what they are. And yeah, I think it's definitely, it makes up a whole, you know, like circle of different things. But the not drinking helps with all the rest, and it just like sets the tone. It creates this really strong foundation for so many other beautiful things to happen. So
that's amazing.
yeah,
I love that. I'm proud of us.
I'm proud of us too.
You know,
I'm proud
I think
of us too.
yeah, this was just like a moment for us to kind of reflect on this journey. We've definitely had like an in-depth conversation about sobriety and what it means and what the causes and negatives and
so
positives
also,
are.
if you're interested in this, you can go and listen to or watch that podcast, depending if you're on Spotify or on YouTube. But you can go and listen to that, where we share a little bit more about all of that and the journey and what led us here.
But I think, yeah, this is definitely more so just us in a very, I don't want to say unapologetic, because then it's going to sound like we have a chip on our shoulder, but it's more so just like a very, like, you know, solid stance that we have in terms of like where we at with it. And I think we are definitely unapologetic. I can say that, you know, and we kind of also shamelessly and confidently like able to share like how we see the world through these lenses of like not being intoxicated or not having toxins in your body or just living a sober life. And it's like, it's not a cool thing or a cool club to be a part of. I think it's just our natural state generally, you know. So I'm very proud of us, and I am, like I said, I'm looking forward to many more years of like sobriety and just us like going on to keep finding the better version of ourselves and digging deeper and going on, like continuing the inward journey. You know,
that self-discovery journey, for sure.
You know, because it just makes it easier for sure. It takes away all the clutter, and it makes it clearer to navigate through life and how challenging it already is. So yeah, I'm proud of you.
I love that. I'm proud of you.
Happy 4-year sober anniversary. I didn't even wish you shame.
4 years and 1 month.
Yes, and mine is in March.
Whenever our the lockdown
started, that's officially my 5 years. So
that's incredible.
I'm just celebrating it how I celebrate my birthday. I'm always like 2 months before my birthday, I'm like, yeah, I'm already 33. So that's exactly what I'm doing with this. But yeah, awesome,
amazing.
Guys.
Thanks so much for listening, you guys. Thanks for watching as well. We really love and appreciate your support so much. Thanks for being patient with us as well. Just have to say that again. We really appreciate all of you guys being here. And what else can I say? Oh, if you are listening, go over to our YouTube channel and you can watch this episode. And if you're watching, please go over to our podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple as well. And rate the podcast. So if this feels good to you, if you enjoy what you're listening to, please rate the podcast, because it just supports us so much. And it helps us know that you guys are enjoying this and we can create more content like this for you guys.
Cool. Cheers, guys.
We'll see you in the next one.